26-year-old mom of two,
Lila Diaz DeCeja,
found dead.
Anna's body
Her body
burning in this orchard.
And I don't have no words to say.
Her 8-week-old son, gone.
It's just hard to hear this.
Bombshell, bombshell, bombshell tonight.
The next day,
This intersection,
Someone from the community
a witness comes forward.
was actually approached by a man and woman asking if they wanted to buy a baby.
Just days later,
naked baby boy on the doorstep of this LeGrand home.
are these incidents related?
Family members are hoping the infant is Anthony
And who killed a 26-year-old mother of two?
and waiting for justice for Anna.
We are taking your calls. I want to go to Sheriff Mark Pazin. He is the from the Merced County Sheriff's Office. The question from Mary Jo in California regarding a congratulations sign or it's a boy or a stork sign, it brings to mind a case. I don't know if you remember this, Sheriff. It was Stephanie Oxendine out of Missouri, and some nut job in her own neighborhood, in her own community, saw these signs in her yard. She and her baby survived the attack, but that crazy woman wanted her baby. So do we know if Lila Diaz DeCeja had any such congratulations signs or blue balloons or anything like that in her front yard?
Well, that's a very good question from Mary Jo, and I can't answer that. We do not know, but suffice it to say that there had to be some type of plan, scheme, and design for what we believe, as you cleverly put, this baby snatching. And we are working all the leads, Nancy, even as we speak out here in California at 5:30, our major crime units all over it, and we will get to the bottom of it. I can promise you that.
And you know, another problem you've got, Sheriff, is if you don't already know, with me, Sheriff Mark Pazin from the Merced County Sheriff's Office, is the fact that her body burned for so long. It's going to be so hard to get physical evidence. But you've got her car, correct?
That's correct. You know, the forensic pathologist out of Miami, I believe, also had some good observations. We believe that there was little or no struggle at the crime scene. And I don't want to get into it.
What about on that car seat? Because, you know, when I struggle with the twins' car seats, and they're supposed to be the easy kind, I mean, I don't even bring them outside to the car with me when I'm fighting with those car seats. Whoever took that car seat out had to have left prints, unless the mommy had already taken it out and was outside the car with the baby in the car seat carrier. Then you're not going to get any prints from inside the car.
Well, obviously, we're not going to show our hand on national TV about some of the investigative leads that we're working on right now. But again, you're all over it, and we are in the course and scope of something that we believe is going to have some come to fruition for us. So what I'm saying is this, that all the callers and yourself have been very helpful and also very clever in putting all these things together.
Let me ask you something, Sheriff. Let me ask you something, Sheriff.
Sure.
A baby turned up, not next door, but in the same general community. Of course, Merced, it's about like my hometown. It's not a huge metropolis like New York City or Philadelphia, but a baby boy turns up almost dead from hypothermia, naked except for being in a blanket, on somebody's front porch, his body temperature down to 86 degrees. Doctors say 1 more hour, 2 more hours, and that baby would have died. Do we have a positive ID on baby Anthony yet? Is baby Anthony safe?
You know, Nancy, I'm just going to cut to the chase. I'm not going to duck that question. We are more than 98% sure that that baby is the one that belongs to the baby male is Anna's. But we always kind of hedge our bets. You know, I'm just going,
I said, praise the Lord, even though I know there's that 2% or 5% chance it's not him. You know, how many other babies are missing in Merced? You know, the odds are pretty strong that's going to be him. And
we're not, you know, Nancy, we're not going to shrug our responsibility in making sure that we get the information out that's correct. Again, we're going to make sure that we cross T's, dot I's regarding the DNA That's a small component to what we believe already is the connectivity between the little baby male that was found in LeGrand and, unfortunately, the deceased mother.
You know, Sheriff Payson, and I'm on the outside looking in, obviously, but it sounds like baby snatchers were willing to murder the mom, and this is precluding the husband, of course. That's just a given that you look at him first, and then were somehow foiled and decided, you know what, I'm backing out of this deal, and just leave the baby on somebody's front doorstep.
There's some gutless people out there, Nancy. I mean, hence you got your TV show. And again, we're not going to shy away from what happened here. You got some callous persons in the human race. You got persons that evidently were trying to sell that baby, got cold feet, no pun intended, and really were going to really committed another felony by just dumping
leaving the baby.
Well, they went from baby snatcher to baby dumping. And so, again, our major crime unit's working right now on some leads, and we're hoping to bring a person or persons that were involved in this case to justice.
To Dr. Jeff Gardier, psychologist and contributor at healthguru.com. Dr. Jeff, thank you for being with us. Dr. Jeff, you know, I don't know if this was kidnapping gone wrong, as if there's anything right about a kidnapping to start with, but the mom, a 26-year-old mom of two, is dead. And it takes, I don't know what kind of makeup it takes to then set a body of a lady on fire, of a mother on fire out in an orchard, then try to sell her baby, then leave a baby at 2 months old. They're just like a little kitten. They can't do anything for themselves. The temperature on that child's body was already down to 86 degrees. A guy heard what he thought was a kitty cat. Turned out it was this baby next door, wedged in between a screen door and the door, just laying there on the front. I mean, what kind of mindset is that, Dr. Gardier?
Well, it sounds to me that even though these individuals may have planned this and that they were watching this woman, perhaps they had seen her before coming into a clinic or coming out of a hospital and therefore targeted her. I would have to think that because it's such a rural area, they didn't think through what they were going to do with the baby. These are depraved individuals who wanted to get rid of the evidence, it seems, but at the same time, yes, just sociopaths to kill the mother in that way and then dump the baby. I wonder, Nancy, and I think you're thinking along the same way, if they had someone in mind that they were going to sell this baby to, and when that didn't work out, then they tried to just sell the baby to anyone, and when they didn't have a taker, they dumped the baby. But the main point here, these are depraved individuals who are desperate for money, and I think possibly for drugs. They needed cash.
Okay, let me go back to Sheriff Mark Payson. Sheriff, can you tell us where the witness was when that witness was approached to buy a baby?
Near the bike path along Bear Creek in that same general vicinity, as you've already pointed out, where the car seat was.
So, just like in a residential area?
Yeah. Merced, the city of Merced is about 80,000 people. And there's, major thoroughfares, but there's this beautiful bike path that you described on air, and people walk up and down that, and it's through another major intersection that goes north and south through the city of Merced and Merced County. So the witness just happened to be in that same neck of the woods where the Our Lady Mercy School is, where a lot of people get their exercise during the day.
You know, Sheriff, now that I'm analyzing this, of course, buying a baby is a felony, but I think if I were approached, now that I'm analyzing it, I would have to say, yeah, I want the baby, get the baby, and then go to police. I mean, because
Nancy,
you don't know what's going to happen to that baby.
Well, Nancy, I think, maybe in a perfect world at 2020 hindsight, but could you imagine the shock of just someone approaching you that, hey, you want this little 2-month-old? I'm just happy that the witness came forward as quickly as they did so we get a good description, so we can get those leads, so we can bring these two characters to justice.
Mi dolor está aquí en el pecho.
He says that he's very devastated about what's going on, that he can only feel it in his heart if anybody knows anything to let the authorities know.